Hi, I'm Construction Gamer and this is Celtic City on City Skylines. This is going to be episode number 53 in the series, and in this episode we're going to be finishing the ring road that's going to go around the city. We've got the two first kind of parts of it coming into the city. We've got the northern bypass and the southern bypass. I want to bring those two together to go around the western part of the city. Population at the minute is 98,000 people. I've just for the last couple of hours actually off camera been trying to sort out some trouble I've been having with too many trains stacking up. First of all, I tried to put in some more outside connections using the ultimate outside connections mod. That seemed to make the situation worse. I've done loads of grade separation of junctions. I've sorted this out a bit, so at least my internal rail services, passenger services aren't impacted by the bit of a queue we've got going. I've just been trying to put in some one-way sections of track, so any trains that are just leaving just leave basically. A lot of these, some of them do reverse and then come back out again, but yeah, it's still pretty bad even despite all the work I've been doing. There is a mod which says it makes the trains wait longer at cargo hubs, so they actually take on board more materials before making their way out of the city, and you can also turn off kind of inter-regional services. So I think you might get some trains which come into the city, use your rail network, and then they'll come out of the other rail connection. There's only two rail connections on this map because there's only really this side which is a landmass. The other side out here is all ocean and sea. So what I was thinking, I might put in another rail connection to connect the south at some stage, but again, I don't really want to make things worse. I mean, I've even had to come up here. You can see I've grade separated this junction, put in a bypass around this station, so well, it's still, that is affecting my passenger services, but passenger services come down here and they do just about manage to get in, but I'm going to have to do something about this. Having lots of trains in some ways is good, because obviously cargo and people are being moved by trains rather than the road, which is pretty quiet, but at the same time you get stuff like this going on which needs to be sorted. But I'm going to leave that. I've done enough. I've spent hours doing this when I was supposed to be recording. I did it off camera because it was quite frustrating work, and it wouldn't have been that entertaining to watch with me being quiet and trying to concentrate, trying to get all these junctions in. So, but yeah, we will ignore that for the time being, and I'll try and look at some other mods, or if you've got any suggestions on how I can improve things beyond installing that other mod which I just talked about, to make sure trains are actually full before they leave. Because what I want actually want to do is keep that as 2. The intention is not to quite have these two join up in a loop. What I've done is I've planned out some roads, so basically we'll get on with some building. So basically these are going to go off to what will eventually be different districts near the coast. So this is going to go one way obviously, and the other one is going to go another. Turn that off, got those on. I mean, it's relatively straightforward. There aren't that many junctions involved. There are just two intersections which need to connect the two ends of the motorway up together. So yeah, I'm going to have a junction here, I think. I'm not going to have roads doing stuff like that. It's a bit unnecessary. Yeah, just want to make sure we do have the road as smooth as possible. Now I'll have to, oh yeah, reverse that. That helps, doesn't it? Because if they're not reversed, it doesn't see them as one continuation of road. Get that in there, and then Yeah, I'll have to upgrade those to 3, I think. Make sure they're nice and even, and then the slip road's going to come off here. Not really bothering about those at the minute. I just want to get the road in the sort of general direction that I want to head out in. Like so. Yeah, helps if you click on that, doesn't it? Yeah, so get that in there, get all this pointing in the sort of direction that you want it to go. Where's that road going to go? Actually, yeah, it probably does need to go somewhere. Get this up here in the sort of right direction. And then just hop over the top of it with the highway. Straightforward enough. I think actually we'll have straight bridges just to keep things nice and straightforward. Come on, why aren't you going over the top? Because it wants to put a pillar in, that's why. Are they the right pillars? I was messing around with the railway pillars just to get them to look a bit better. The railway ones are quite fat and we're getting in the way. But I don't think these are... no, they're all normal. And then I'll put Anarchy back on. Go down to the ground level there. Like so. And then yeah, we will, I think, go back to 3 lanes just briefly. Like so, and then obviously just junctions coming off. I want to land up to that, please. Now, I don't tend to like doing these sort of junctions. I prefer roundabout interchanges, but there's not really the room, and these are kind of inner city. Well, they will be inner city interchanges at some stage, so that needs, actually this all needs to come up to there. Can we bring this down a little bit whilst making it look nice, and then just bring that down as well. Should be gentle enough, just about. Actually, just bring this all the way up here, and then bring that up levelish. Yeah, it's not amazing, but it's not too bad. Don't think that's too starry. That'll do. And then just do the same. Upgrade these to 2 lane. Actually, I'll drag that back a little bit. Yeah, it's still quite steep, but I think it's just about passable. Drag that over there. Drag that up to there, and then that like that. Not so much like that. Is that that's right on the ground? That's not what you want. Yeah, the first little kind of triangle exit bit does need to be the same level as your junction, otherwise it just looks hideous. Can I do that in one go? Still not very nice, is it? Right, what we'll do is get these 3 sections, bring them down a little bit, see if that makes it look any nicer. I don't know why that's... Can we use the smoothing tool to make that look any nicer? I doubt it. Tiny bit better. That should be able to do that. Well, people are using this already anyway, that's good to see. It's not great, but it's not hideous, and I've been playing around with the wrong side, haven't I? That's why. Right, so that's going that way, and then this one wants to be too, and that is not too bad actually. Just need to drag that out a little bit. Yeah, I didn't want to really spend too much time on these interchanges because I've got two big interchanges to build, and that's like up in the air for no reason. Just take a quick look at that. Right, so want the nodes to be equal on both sides, like so, and then we need to reverse this like that. Still not looking particularly good. Try it one more time and then we'll leave it. No, still wants to do something like that. I'm not particularly fussed on this junction actually. I think we can do a little bit better. Like so, drop that node down a little bit. Not my best work, but yeah, it's not too bad. Make sure everything's facing the right direction, and then we'll continue this road out a bit. So this track that I've got on here is just so I can get like sort of the idea of where I want the road to go, and then we're going to need to, I think what I want to do is have this flat from here. Yeah, I'll have to do some work on that, and then it needs to come down to there nice and gradually, and then just comes off and goes down towards that direction, and that we're starting slowly but surely to get towards the western coast of the map now, and I've got some ideas for what I want on the western coast. Thinking I'm going to have another big port, not sure where, and well, there's two nice flat build areas. I think one I'm going to have a nice big port, and the next one is going to be like a huge entertainment area down by the coast, but I haven't decided quite how it's going to go. I just want to make sure I've got the roads in place so we can get that up and running. Just do a bit of painting there with the paintbrush tool. Yeah, just a bit of paint. A little bit better. Oh, it's quite busy actually, this road already, that's good. Hopefully that might be freeing up, well, easing congestion in other areas, hopefully. Usually, if people are using this rather than driving through the city, and then we just want to smooth that off a little bit. Let's see what that looks like. It's a bit of a bump, but it's not too bad. Yeah, there's two like weird bumps, because like you look at what you've built and you think, oh, that looks alright, and then you like, if you take a journey, say on a car through the actual city itself, it looks like a roller coaster, but you could spend hours messing around with things. At least if they look semi alright, then it's okay. No, there's not a lot we can do with that. But what we can do is just finish this little bit off. So we're going to have 3-lane going that way. And then this road actually isn't going to be that busy. I think it's just going to be the continuation of Lower Hills suburb. Because what I want to do is this zone here, which is just Hamilton Park still, it's not actually been given a proper name yet, is sort of the medium rise buildings as we start to go back out from high density to down to the low density suburbs. Now it's a bit hilly this, so I'm not sure how much we'll actually get built on it, but yeah, I'm going to continue this round the back here, and then the rest of this is all going to be this sort of thing. Yeah, it's not too bad. And then this one here is going to come off as well, and this is going to head off as well to the coast. So, oh, where are we? Should I keep this? I might keep this elevated actually, might make things a little bit easier. Are you trying to go down? No, it's alright. It'll keep that elevator for quite a while actually. Might make things a little bit easier when we come to build the interchange. Like so. So that's going to come off, it's going to go down the hill, and then it's going to come to this area here, because we've got a huge, relatively flat build plane, and then we've got another kind of bay area here, which I'm not sure sort of lends itself to a nice big kind of port area, but also it would look nice as an entertainment district as well. So yeah, not sure yet, but you can see what I'm doing now. These two arms of the highway coming down. And then I think what I want to do, just push that back a little bit. What I'm going to do, make my life a little bit easier. I'm going to start on a completely flat area. Just make building so much easier. Flat. Right, so push that back a little bit. Go to 3 lanes. So about there. This is going to be quite busy, I reckon. And then back to 2 lanes to about there. It wants to be barriered because it's still going to be, there's going to be properties built up to this, and then this is going to be an inbound section to there, and then there's going to be obviously an outbound section. I think what I'll do, actually I think I'm going to build a trumpet interchange here. So go up to there, and then we'll start coming up like so. What's that look like? And then across there, back towards there, like so. Yeah, that's all right. And then, oh no, not like that. Right. So this is going to be the outside of the trumpet, so it needs to be a little bit bigger, like so. Get this highway out. It's been a while since I've actually built anything like this, like a trumpet interchange. The last major interchange I built was just plot, which was the turbine interchange. So I'm a bit rusty, and I just thought a trumpet is probably one of the easier junctions to, but in the easier interchanges to build. So that can go to about there. Force a node there. That doesn't actually look too bad. Yeah, that's alright. And then just upgrade that and to about there. Right, just make sure everything is facing the right direction. Like so, that's all facing the right direction. Just need to pull that in a little bit. Like so, that's all facing the right direction. Just need to pull that in a little bit. Maybe just make that a little bit gentler. Oh, we've got it's gone and spoilt it. Right. We'll just try and make that a bit more gentler as it comes up to there, and then join them up, and then see if we can move this round a little bit. Want it nice and close to that. Yeah, it's made one of those. Made it a bit bumpy. That's alright, that's alright. Yeah, that's not too bad, I don't think. Right, and then actually I think if we have from there just forcing some nodes, so then that's nice and even as that starts to come down a bit more severely, like so. That's made a nice smooth transition. Reverse that, and hopefully that should be as smooth. Oh yeah, that's facing the wrong way. Like so, and then we just bring this in now, nice and straight forward. Where are we going? Yeah, we need to Should have maintained that elevation, I think. Knock them back. And then keep this elevated. Where are we? Over there. Yeah, I'll keep the whole thing elevated. Just keep it nice and straightforward. And then these will have to come up to meet the highway. That's probably a bit longer than it needed to be actually. That yeah, it doesn't need to be quite that long. Right, so we'll get this facing in the right sort of direction. So push that back. I'll have that come up twice into there, and then that wants to be dual carriageway then, like so. And there's a node in the way, that's why that's doing that. Easily fixed, just drag the node away, flatten that off, drag that over there. Yeah, I've never been good at getting these kind of divergent sections looking good, but I think that's not too bad. That's too severe. So bring it down to 6 meters, and then that looks okay, I think. Doesn't look too bad from the top down. Just yeah, I'm gonna stop messing with that. Oh, it's not too bad, I don't think. I can live with that. And then somehow I think, yeah, we've gone over that. Upgrade. Go over that road there, although that's probably not going to be doing much. And then we've got the tricky job of connecting that back up. Yeah, so bring that down there like that. No, don't merge into the side, that's not what we want. That's not. Yeah, not that. Hey, why is it done all that? Let's get this facing the right direction, and then we will have to come in and do something about this. Why has it gone so higgledy-piggledy? Let's see if we can fix it with the Smooth It tool. Make sure I've got no nodes. So let's see if this fixes it first, before we have to come in and do it all manually. Right, what was I trying to do? Using the Smooth It tool to smooth this out. Get rid of these trees so we've got a decent line of sight. We'll always replant though with the more trees later on. Is it all facing the right direction and all one continuation of a road? Just make sure it's nice and flat, that's not too bad. Obviously we can't have a junction there now, there's not enough room. Would have been nice to actually have a junction on here though, but there's going to be far too much going on. I think if we'd put a junction in there, actually I think after doing all this I think we're going to push it out a little bit. I think what I will do is I'll keep it elevated, then I'll try and get a junction in there, another intermediate junction, but I've got a sneaky suspicion it would be quite busy. And then that pushes whatever junction we're going to build here, whatever interchange we're going to build there, out of kind of the city area, like so. Well, it says like so, and then we just end up with a horrible looking road. Try and make that look a little bit nicer, he says. Oh no, that's because right, so let's try and use this again. Try and keep all of this nice and smooth to there, making sure we've got all the nodes. Clear that off. Don't think I'm going to be happy with what this is looking like actually, because I've just seen it go down, but we will see. I mean, it has made it smoother. What we need to do is demolish all this. Not happy with it. Push that back to there, and then we're going to make our lives a little bit easier and make the whole land all nice and flat. It is cheating a little bit, I think, but yeah, I want this to be nice looking, and we've got to put a junction in there as well. and it just doesn't lend itself to being on any sort of, even though that wasn't really difficult terrain, just with what we've got going on, it just would have been all over the place when we start to put the filter lanes in and things like that. Because when you transition from 2 to 3 lanes, obviously that's a whole new set of nodes. So I think actually we will have this. We'll have it to there, and then bring that in. We will have a junction. I think there should be enough space for the cars to intermix. Yeah, because I think a junction at the kind of the western edge of the city centre itself is quite important. Right, usually if it helps just to do that, like that, it just makes things a lot easier, and then you just come in with move it and move it around, and then I think I'll get away with just dropping these to the ground in one foul swoop, like so. Make sure that's reversed, and then I won't actually put the interchange or the junction in here yet. I'll just see what sort of land requirements we've got. So it wants to be able to about there, and then drag that out there, move that in there, drop the road to the ground, and then I'll put some sort of junction there, and then this all wants to be 3 lane, I guess. Yeah, I don't really. No, yeah, you see, you got that sort of thing going on, which doesn't look great. Can I make it look any better? Not easily. No, we'll go to 2 as we go over the road, and then go to 3 because that just doesn't look right at all. Does that look alright? Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I think what I'll actually do is, because I think just put a temporary road in there like that, and then just connect these up, because I think actually people will want to use this while I'm building. It's not, yeah, just a temporary junction. It is hideous, but we may as well put it to some use while we're finalising the main connection. So that's from about there like that. Bring those in, just make sure they match up. And then, yeah, we've got to try and get this connected up somehow. So first things first, we can just put in quite a sharp curve into there like that, and then I think actually we'll have 2 lanes, so then it won't look too bad, and we'll go underneath like so, and that's got to go underneath. And then we've got to start transitioning to the downhill direction. So this is going to be quite entertaining. So no, that's yeah, I need to reverse that, don't I? Make sure everything's in the right direction from the get-go. And then 1, 2, 3 over that. Yeah, it doesn't need to be quite so curvaceous, but just want to get over that section there, and then we'll have this continuing like so, and then this coming off. Now you want to be the same level. Yeah, it's not going to be the most attractive junction, but it will get the job done. A little bit low, but so no. Yeah, there's ugly, and then there's just that. I think what we'll do is we'll get this. What's going on? From one angle it looks alright, from the other it looks a bit rubbish. So I'll make sure all the spacing between the 2 carriageways is all nice and even. Yeah, it's a bit of a severe transition, that, isn't it? So we'll bring it back to about there. Keep that same height as that. Little bit of a curve. Upgrade this to 3. And the only problem then is, right, okay, so bring that down there, bring that down. This is going to be quite a severe turn, but just want to make sure we're not interfering with that too much. We want cars to have plenty of time to change lanes. Yeah, that's quite severe. Yeah, not entirely happy with that, but I think given the circumstances, I think it's about the best we can get away with. I'll try the smoothing tool, but I doubt it's going to work. What? Right, so just like that, hit those. Yeah, we've still got that little bit of a ski jump type thing going on, which is not what we want. Let's bring that down, bring that round, see what that's done. Got trees in the way. Yeah, we can bring this up a little bit. Yeah, it's not great, if I'm honest. I think that will have to do, because it is quite a severe angle it's coming off there. I think I've made it worse. Right, we'll stop playing with that. I think that will have to do. We will hide it with trees. I forget it I ever did that. But yeah, we've got not doing that, and then we need to get from here. Right, so bring that down to about there. Start merging that in. There's a node in the way. Oh, I'm not going to get past that node, are we? It's a bit too close to that. I'll get rid of that because I don't want. There's no need for so many nodes, I don't think, in that location. So we'll reset that. Merge. Merge them in. Is that? How's that pillar's clipping through the road now? Right. We've still got about 1 million nodes. We don't need quite so many nodes. But we want to be 3 lanes anyway, so we'll do that. I know it's 4 into 3, but I think that's about what we can get away with. I'll do something with the lane management. Play with these until they look half decent. Right, so we've got that connected up to there, and then we just need to get this over to there. Is this all? Am I happy? No, I'm not happy with the heights. Maybe drop it down a little bit. Just make sure these are even, which they are not. Come on. I could move it and do the height correction, but just eyeballing it, just see what it looks like by eye, and it doesn't look too bad. And then this is going to have to go up quite severely, and that's not good, is it? There's too many trees in the way. Get rid of the trees, and then I'll replant them later to hide the junction. But they are in my way. Right, so that needs to be about level with that, and that needs to come up like so, and then this can start going upwards a little bit like that. Let's have a look. It's not too bad. Then obviously that goes down, goes through those pillars nicely. Doesn't look too bad. And then I've got to do something there, which is going to be difficult. And then this wants to go up quite high actually, because it needs to get over. Maybe a bit too high, but we'll just yeah, bit too high there. Bring those down until we start. Oh, it just misses that. Misses that lamppost. It's not clipping through the top. As long as we haven't got any lampposts clipping through, then I'm happy. I think if we delete this, we can actually bring this down a little bit more. Well, a lot more actually. Let's see if we can actually get those two marry up and not look hideous. So that wants to go from there to there. Actually, it doesn't. That's not actually too bad. Yeah, no, we'll do that in a minute. I was thinking I just want to put a pillar in there because there's a bit too much no pillar action going on there. And then just bring this round. Start coming down a little bit. And then merge into there. Upgrade that to 3 lanes. Swing him in. Oh, not quite so much. Yeah, want to avoid that crease that you get. Yeah, that's not too bad, is it? No, it's not. So what we want is we want to get one of them and put in a few pillars. No, move it. Yeah, just kind of it glitching through the top just until I've finished positioning it. And then just till it disappears below the asphalt. Just bring that up a little bit. Yeah, I think that will do. We will get another pillar there. Again, we'll do the same, just have it glitching through and then drop it. I think that should be enough pillars. Yeah, that's not too bad actually. Make sure everything's facing in the right direction. Actually, no, I'm not happy with that. Curve just didn't look quite right, so if you bring that back round to about there. No. I think that's about as good as we're going to get it. Where's that pillar? I have to relocate that now. Bring that through. Drop it down. And then... It doesn't look too bad. I think it's alright. Once we put some trees in, we can hide most of that. I just don't like the way it goes like that, but no, that'll do. Can we get in actually? We've got a junction there, so we don't need to. We've got exits here. Yeah, that will do. We'll put some sort of junction arrangement in there. That's all 3, that's all 2, and then we come to the nice difficult bit. So push that back to there, and then push this all back. It's got, you see the elevation difference that we're going from there down to the coast. It's going to be quite severe, so it's going to be a challenge. But first things first, is just finish off the edge of this junction. So what I'm going to do is flatten a load of terrain, a bit too much, and then bring that in to up there, and then I can start dropping this down to meet that. Yeah, we'll do 3 lane just to there, and then which make sure that's all in the right sort of direction, like so. And then just sort this out. Yeah, got to try and get all this straightened out before we start going downhill. Make sure everything's facing the right direction would help. Like so. And then, oh, that's pointed in the air. That's got to be relatively level, I would say. Otherwise there's going to be a bit of a ski jump as we come down to meet the other section. So we're all on the ground now. Yeah, we've still got a bit of a ski jump, but it's not too bad. Just want to sort this interchange, well, this slip section out, make it not quite as severe as it was. And then just bring that in there, just take a look how it looks. It's a bit wonky. Yeah, that wants to be
at Banhammerbank,
straight, and then just a little bit of a curve. Yeah, that doesn't look great when it does that like that, but I don't think there's anything you can do about it.
Imagine
And bring that up
in the ground and watering it. Hold on. Imagine if you
on
had a money pet
flat.
and you
What's that
fed it
look
more
like?
money, and
If
after
I just
digesting
have that
it would...
flat,
Okay.
and then if I bring this down again,
Use a little Hammerbank.
down,
Feed
and then
the money
hopefully that
monster.
should be.
Gaze at a gazelle.
I
Lock
thought that would have
eyes
been
with
ground
a
level
lemur.
by now.
Shake hands with a turtle.
Right, ground
At the
level,
city
and
zoo,
then just
you
take
can
a quick
experience
gander
the
at that.
wild in our wildest wild.
Yeah,
After that,
that's
take a
it's a bit
gander at
better.
another new species.
And then
A
what I
new
have to
type
do
of
is we have
bird
to use the
previously
slope
identified
tool
as a
to get
different type
down
of
to
bird.
this area
Into a
here, this
zoological
first
area.
sort of
Fun for the whole family. Book now
plateau.
and get a free handful of pellets to feed the
Maybe
fish.
turn that down
Limit
a little
4 per
bit,
family
and then
while supplies
hopefully
last. We'll look
we should
forward
be able to get
seeing
down
you where
there.
the animal city
Need to
zoo.
make sure it's wide enough for not three, for this, and then force the ground up towards that, bring that down to there, and then hopefully that will match it. Done them both in completely the opposite direction as to what they should be. Quickly reverse those, and then we'll take a look at what it looks like as we come down the hill. It is quite yeah, that is quite a hill climb, but it doesn't actually look too bad apart from that where we have the change from 2 to 3. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's not great, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to bring that down, bring that up. Right, I'm going to have to do that again. As nice as it looked, it was actually quite smooth. What I'm going to have to do is flatten that to there, transition to 2, and then have those both there, and then come back in with the slope tool again. Right, bring that out a little bit. They should really be the same height, why aren't they? Give ourselves a bit of a fighting chance to make sure we've got a good head start as we come down the hill. Smooth that off a bit, and then come down from there down to there. Yeah, because what I want is, obviously we've got to have these 2 lanes of this motorway coming down, and then I want to try and fit in just a standard avenue in there as well. Reverse all that back up to there like that, and then just take another look at this transition. Ooh dear. Right, can we do something with the smooth it tool? Make this look a little bit better. I'm not sure what it's done there, but I will just do this section before I make any judgments about what it's done. Let's have a look. Yeah, so we've got a bit of slightest ski jump there, but it's not too bad. And then am I going to get in another road? I don't think I am actually. I think we'll just smooth some of this out like so. Get rid of these trees that are mountain climbing in the cliffs, get rid of all that. And then just take a look. It is quite steep, but I think it's about as much as we're going to kind of get away with. Just need to fix that little bit of glitching in there. Bring that in, do some lane management later on with the traffic manager, but actually obviously we've got to do something with this junction to make it look a little bit nicer, but we're getting the sort of gist of what I wanted. So we've got the southern bypass which connects up to the docks and to the southern exit. That's coming up to this Trumpet interchange, which looks alright, and then it's going to head downhill following this dirt track to this bay, and then this one actually is going to curve off. I think we can come from there, maybe there, and we won't quite do a switchback, but we'll have a nice flat area to about there, and then quite a relatively sharp turn to there, bringing that round. No, stop trying to join. Switch, no, I had it right round the first time. Switch that, and then we've still got yeah, this is going to be fun, I think. Yeah, we'll flatten out a bit. I don't like doing huge amounts of terraforming like this, but sometimes needs must. It is going to almost be like a switchback sort of setup. We'll make it look a little bit less hideous with the smooth it tool there. And then I think to about, we're going to have another sort of plateau about here and see what sort of slope that gives us from there. It's going to be severe. Actually, saying that, it's not hideous. Shouldn't be too bad. Let's have a look where we're up to, and then down to there. Yeah, it's not ideal, but the terrain that we're working with, sometimes you're just going to have to compromise. And then that's almost down to like the sea level, and just finish up by smoothing this out here, smooth this out here. Yeah, it's about as good as we're going to get away with. And what we're going to do next is from here have a junction coming off heading across the coast as well, so there'll be another road there, but this needs to be connected up. Well, this section here obviously brings people into the city centre, although saying that, the only junction that, yeah, we're going to have to no, other one, bridge like that. I'm just thinking, because basically these two junctions that we've got, they head off east, and this one as well, they only go out east, and there's nothing really coming from the west in, so I'm going to bring that off. I know I've got this, but that's going to be quite heavily used anyway, so what I'm thinking is something like this to connect that up, and then something like that goes underneath. Obviously it's got to look a heck of a lot nicer than that, but that should provide a westbound connection. I know it's going to be quite busy around here, but there's not a lot we can do about it. Still not completely happy with that, but I think it's about as good as we're going to get it. We could always, because we've got a westbound connection from there, we could always get rid of these slip roads and just have a southbound connection there, and that way it separates the two flows a little bit as well. I don't know where you've come from, I don't know where he's been driving. Looks like they're driving down, oh, they're coming off that junction. So yeah, we've got, this will be the westbound connection, this will be the sort of southbound. That brings a connection into there, and then that's going to be quite a tricky slope down, although it is a bit more forgiving all the way down to this bay area. But I think I'm going to leave it there for today. We've got most of what I wanted in place. I'm going to do a bit more city building in here. I think this whole area, actually just push that back. Anything this side of the motorway, which I'm deleting now, will be suburbs and city west. Actually, yeah, suburbs. And Hamilton Park is just going to be the last of the sort of high-rise buildings before we start to go to the suburbs, and then we come back down, and I think we'll start doing a bit more high density down by the coast and then the ports. Yeah, so still plenty to do, but now we've finally got the northern bypass and the southern bypass both coming together, and to plant some trees to hide those. Looks like we just won something, and that should serve quite a useful purpose, I think. So there we are. I'm going to leave it there for today, and I'm going to say until next time, bye bye.